Right then, we are back for another podcast, and this time it's just me and Edward because we've been on a little adventure to Spain to test out the new Triumph Enduro models, the 450 and the 250. Edward, come along.
I got the last minute call up. In the last podcast I said that, didn't I? But yeah, I did. I got the last minute call up and come for a spin.
You enjoyed yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, good trip.
Quite a long trip because I went to Portugal beforehand with the family. And highly recommend a trip to Portugal. Very surprised. Soph's grandparents live there. So I went for a few days. And I would like a house in Portugal now. And
Really?
if I did have a house there, do you know what I'd get?
A Triumph.
An Enduro Triumph, because it's rife down that way.
Can you actually ride Enduro there or not? Or do you?
Yeah. I went to a bicycle shop that was at the bottom of the road, literally. Soph's grandparents' house was up this little hill that was like 2 kilometres from the beach and like half a kilometre up this hill out of the village. At the bottom of the village was a bicycle shop owned by some Belgium residents that would move to Portugal. Had Belgian waffles in there in the coffee shop as well, which was, I rate them.
You told me actually when you got to the last trip, your holiday consisted of 3 hours of exercise every morning.
Yeah.
And you barely spent any time with your family.
Yeah, well, it made the time I did spend with my family much better because I was in a better mood. I exercised more there than what I would have done at home because the sun inspired me to get out.
Oh, you sound like Billy.
No, it was just nice, honestly.
That's what Billy does. He comes back, ooh, England, rain. Ooh.
No, it don't rain here no more.
No, it's good. It's 24 degrees outside at the minute and we're sat in here.
England is the new Spain and Portugal. They don't get. Yeah, it's changed. The world, global warming is
actually
upon us.
When we went to Spain at the weekend, Saturday, pissing down. You didn't fly until later, pissing down, and we were like, "This is going to be bad." And then Sunday, the day we rode, wet in the morning, got sunny and was lovely in the afternoon, and then it rained again as we was packing up.
Yeah, we got lucky, and then the next day rained again. So. Yeah, England is the new...
and we've turned up here and we're in shorts and T-shirt, 24 degrees.
Yeah, other than it's freezing cold in here, so we're going to be shivering in a minute.
No, it's nice. I've got it cold so the cameras don't conk out.
Oh, yeah. Well, we shouldn't have them conk out because it's a shorter episode.
Well, I've got fans coming as well.
Talking to fans, they come standing on Enduro bikes.
They do. On the Triumph one.
Yeah, but my trip to Portugal, I just wrapped that up. I'm an advocate. Holidays in Portugal now. Recommend. And the enduro scene was rife out there. Even in the bicycle shop, they said, what you out here for? I said, blah blah blah, like I'm visiting the grandparents. And
I went there 2 years ago and I told you it was the place to go.
Did you go on an enduro trip?
I didn't go on an enduro trip, I went on a holiday.
Oh yeah, no, I remember you went
good
on a holiday.
Spot.
And I actually went there riding as a kid. Like instead of going to Spain, I went with Ricky Priest. And it might have been Paul Malin, but it was Ricky Priest. We loaded up the vans and we went to Portugal to do a riding holiday, and it was really, really good. But people don't seem to go there as much riding now, although Stefan Everts has a place there now that I know Conrad went to, and also Paul Jonas spent a lot of time in the winter. So
GP in Portugal?
This weekend.
Agueda was the one that you used to go to. Is this the same track?
Same track.
I used to like it there. No,
it was a nice venue.
That's the one where Mel held Jeffrey Hurlings up in a...
Yes, he did. That boosted Mel's... Well, it's made him famous, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was good, really good track. But it's actually sounding a little bit of rain there this weekend. But no, we had a good trip. I think Triumph put on... that you couldn't have got a better venue, could you, where it was?
Well, I've never been to one of those press ride things. You've been to the one, obviously, in America for the 450, but yeah, they said to come along, and I didn't really know what to expect, but it's like, it's all the bells and whistles. They look after you and put you up, but I didn't realise, obviously, they can't really control what the journalists say, so a journalist could slag that bike off or could not. It's not like, come here, we'll look after you, do us a nice review. Like, you're well within your right to say, nah, bag of shit, or enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, sometimes, I mean, the journalists are doing a job at the end of the day, trying for doing their job, produce the bike, bring people out, ride the bikes, but the journalist's job are to review the bike. So if they go out there and say, what a wonderful machine, you're never ever going to have a problem, it's better here, there and everywhere, then people are going to say, well, he's a bit of a knob, because actually this isn't the same as what it is. So they have to do their job as well. So the reviews, but also people have a different opinion. People like different things.
We went out, there's like every day you have different journalists. So we was the English group, and on our trip was the Italians, and then the day after I think was the Germans and the Spanish, and so on and so forth. But within the English category, we went with Midwest MX was there, so he'll probably do a video of it. Then JP from Enduro 21, he'll be doing a write-up, and then Michael, I believe, is his name Michael?
What?
From MCN?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, and then MCN was there, and they will be doing a review as well. And then me and you, vlog.
Yeah. And
a guy called Sam from, I forgot his YouTube, his Instagram. Let me look.
There was a nice group of us out there, like good. It is good. They flew Ed in.
Sam Barham, he will also be doing some form of a review of the bike.
Yeah, so a nice group. And as a whole, a lot of the people were somewhat more YouTube based, rather than, obviously you had the one guy from MCN and you had the Enduro 21. They were like media as such, journalists. The rest of us were just noshers that do
bit of YouTube,
bit of podcast. But that is the new. I spoke to like Amy, who does it all. She's like, well, that is the media as such nowadays. That's the way it is. So
the guy from MCN, he was saying, because obviously he's been in it years, and that was quite a good thing that I enjoyed more, as well as the riding. The night you flew in, we all travelled together, and we was all talking about like YouTube, different forms. It was quite interesting, really, how everyone's doing their own thing. And he was saying, like, MCN as a 20 years ago, that was the only place you got your review. And he said, and now the audience that read MCN is getting older.
Oh yeah,
he even said, the audience
are
dying. He's like, it's just an older form of media, whereas everyone now is YouTube and podcast.
Yeah, no kids now are going to get MCN. I would never read MCN. It's like before my time as such. The MCN, I remember seeing it and like in the shops, but I would never go there for info. And I think that's the same. So anyone, like he said, it's literally like 50 years old and above as such, that are maybe a bit younger, but they're reading at MCN. So he said it was getting harder for him and his audience.
You were right though. It's not just an MX bike with an 18-inch rear wheel.
No, I enforced that to the viewers last episode, but exactly
you're still marketing advice, weren't you?
And I think they've took it on board.
Have they?
Yeah, they listened, and they're a company that do that. They take it on board from the riders, from the fans, and they get it. But no, like you said, it wasn't just a motocross bike at all. It was a full enduro bike, and you was at the briefing because I was still flying in at that point because I got a later flight out. You joined the group and was one of the media, so you know a little bit more than me on the stats of the bike.
I would say even if you was at the briefing, I would still know more because you wouldn't have listened.
No, it actually doesn't.
What tyres do they come with?
Oh, this is a good one. You can do like...
Oh, you want me to test you? All right. Tell me the stock components that bike comes with.
Well, I know this because you reeled them off. I only know what you told me.
I only told you the other day. See if you can remember.
So it comes with Pro Taper bars.
Yeah.
ODI grips.
Yeah.
Michelin tyres.
Yeah.
Galfa discs.
Yeah.
Galfa pads or standard pads?
Well, what are the brakes?
Brembo.
Yeah.
The hubs are made in-house.
You were listening.
The rims are from DID. It comes with a fan. The engine has a heavier crank, which gives it a little bit of a smoother feel.
Fucking hell, you really did listen. Have you edited the vlog? You must have watched it back.
I have listened to your bit this morning. Because I was checking the footage, which is good footage as well, a really good vlog. Or it will be. Yeah, and you could feel that lighter crank in the woods. The suspension was a little bit softer. And then
do you know the difference I found? Because obviously every motorbike I've ever ridden enduro wise has been KTM or Husky steel frame. That's the first enduro bike I've ridden alley frame.
Yeah.
Flexi.
Oh, what, you actually felt the difference?
Yeah, I sometimes feel it's hard to know because you've not rode them both back to back. But I sometimes go through them wood sections, feel like I'm bouncing from side to side, doof, 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 all over the place. Whether that's me just not riding enough, or whether that's terrible bike's suspension setup, or the frame, or whatever it might be. I didn't feel like I was still cocking it up a lot, but I didn't feel like I bounced left to right as much.
No, it's very planted, the bike as a whole. Like it's very settled. Like in the corners it's settled, over the bumps it settles, like it sticks to the floor quite well, and also quite nimble. I don't
know whether that's KYB though, because I've never rode KYB suspension in enduro either, but everyone raves on about that.
Yeah, I'm not the one to sort of go from bike to bike. It was nice for me because every enduro I've ever done has always been on a motocross bike. Like, I obviously rode for Honda when I started my enduro career, and that was
like
a somewhat motocross bike with the smaller rear wheel. Then I went to Kawasaki, which was a motocross bike with a smaller rear wheel. I did have K-Tech doing my suspension, and the suspension felt nice, and they both felt nice to ride. And then I done only stands on a Triumph 250 motocross bike, and so I've never actually rode an enduro bike, and I said this in the vlog as well, but riding that enduro bike compared to riding the motocross version at only stands, what I felt just from the two is the initial feeling and setting off, riding down to the track and around the motocross portion. I could have quite easily rode that bike around the motocross track and rip round. But then when I went into the woods and over the choppier rocks and like tree roots, it felt a lot nicer in my hands. Like I could have rode that bike all day like you do in enduro for 3-4 hours. Whereas when I was riding the motocross version that only stand was going over the rocks, and I was like, after 20 minutes I was like, this is going to be a long day. Like, because it was just a bit hurting the palms of my hands, where straight away I got on that enduro model and I was like, no, I can like...
But that could have been a mix, because did you on your motocross bike that you rode at only stands, did you have RFX bars on it with like a crossbar?
It was the standard bike that Triumph had used for demos for the motocross bike, so I don't know what bike. I guess it's standard bars.
I sometimes find if you've got that, like on the rental, you have the crossbar, that's a bit stiff.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't set up for enduro. I didn't have suspension, so it could have been that. But straight off the bat, it got to 4 o'clock, and they went, "That's enough," and I was like, "Nah, that's not enough."
Considering we put our kit on at 7:30.
Yeah, and we done a lot. Like the lady said to us, you got to stop at times because we was all getting a bit competitive.
Yeah, she quickly called us in for a break. Come and have 5 minutes. You're pissing about too much.
But I was wanting more at 4 o'clock, and that's rare for me. Yeah. Normally on a motocross bike, I like to do my work. I like to go home, but it shows how supple it was and how easy it was to ride and how the suspension worked and everything, just by how I still had a lot in me at the rest of the day, and I was like, nah, let's carry on.
Yeah,
that's not normal for me, and I think that's a testament to how the bike was just easy on your body, easy on your hands, because you need that in enduro. Like if you're hitting stuff and everything's banging and clattering, that's like, nah, not enjoying this. But when it's quite nimble and you're cruising along and you got a bit of like pep in your step, and it had that response there, but it was also mellow. I don't know, I liked it, but you mentioned a couple of times, like, we was using our Cardo system, talking the whole way around, which was so good.
No, I'm never, ever riding an Enduro without one again. They're so much fun.
And Cardo don't even pay me yet. But it was unbelievable, the Cardo. Like, we were just... once you use one, you would never want to ride Enduro with your friends without it, because you'll just be like, this is shit. Like, I can't. It's no fun.
We had the first go, didn't we? At only stands when it was me, you, and Billy connected, and then obviously it was just me and you in Spain, just gone. But yes, it just makes the day so much better because you can just have a chat, talk, if one of you gets lost or stuck, you just
It's
take the
so
piss
good.
out of each other.
So we had that on and we was talking, and then over the mic we were just chatting about the bike, about everyone else, about people nearly crashing or this and that, and taking the piss out of each other. And then I said, what do you actually think? And you was like, well, it feels somewhat like my Enduro Husky in a way. And then I said, well, that's nice because your bike's set up for you in Enduro.
Well, yeah, my Enduro is obviously a two-stroke, so it doesn't feel like that one. It more felt like the one I rode at Only Stands. Not exactly the same, but I think the point I was trying to prove was it doesn't feel like it's out of place. It doesn't feel like a motocross bike. It felt like the tool for the job, like it's been designed for the job that it does, and it works good at the job it does. It was like that was the feeling I was trying to get. I put a story on my Instagram last night, and a couple of people messaged and was like, oh, what did you really think? Like, I'm half interested. And it's, like I would say, it's as good, if not better, than the rest of them. It does the same, in the 100%. Same category, and it comes with all the bits, and it's cheaper, so.
Yeah, well, you said, I don't know, that's why it's nice that you actually came along, because you know more about the Enduro world than I do. I get on a bike and I ride it and I'm like, that's good. And then, or that's not good. But you mentioned that a lot of the parts that they've put on this bike that come standard, you have to put on your bike from...
Yeah, you don't have to, but like a lot of questions they ask Billy, don't they? What's the first thing you would do to your bike to set it up? And Billy normally says first thing suspension, second thing tyres, which, yeah, tyres is like everything in Enduro. They're always moaning about the tyre, or I burnt the tyre out, or da-da-da-da-da. That's the crux. So coming with that tyre, I'd suggest is good.
Oh, that's one of the tyres that he would put on?
Michelin tyre, yeah.
What does a Husky come with?
Not sure. At one point KTMs were coming with Maxxis, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Surprises me.
Yeah.
Oh, but Maxxis is bigger in Enduro.
Yeah. No, I'm really not sure what they come with nowadays.
But yeah, you were saying a lot of the parts.
Well, a fan, straight away. I think they're best part of 180, 250, around that price range.
And fitting it's ag.
Yeah.
If you get it on the bike, it's just nice. And
yeah,
there's
nice,
one thing you've not got to do. Same with tyres. Like, it just comes and you can go out and ride. And then the bike, there's so much potential in it standard. Watching Johnny and Sam Sunderland was like, wow, even for me. And I even thought, oh, he's been on it a couple of times. He's probably set his bike up a bit.
Johnny's not rode an Enduro bike, even in...
No, he's waiting for that.
Yeah, he's waiting for that bike. The bike that he's been riding in Super Enduro has been a hybrid that they've like made and developed a bit alongside what's been going on with this, I think.
Yeah, he literally said, well, I've been waiting to get this bike that he was on there.
To take one home.
Yeah, because then he can get ready for Erzberg. But watching him on it, how he rode that bike, like I was just saying, I thought, maybe he set it up a little bit for himself. But then he went and jumped on the 450 that I was on and went even faster without touching the thing, without touching the suspension. And how he rode that bike, I was even like, that's like really impressed me.
You've not seen the GoPro, because I give him my GoPro. I watched the GoPro back. He's quick.
Yeah, we went, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the vlog, but we done some challenges. Me v Johnny, with Sam, we've done some challenges with Ed, but he was impressive, and that made me even more impressive with how Bill does to beat Johnny in Super Enduro, because watching the corner speed that Johnny has and then transferring that, because I wouldn't think Bill has that same role as what Johnny does. They're very different as riders, but it shows how aggressive Billy is and how hard he hits the obstacles to gain that time on Johnny. I was talking to Nick last night and I was like, fucking impressed me. Like, I've got more respect after watching how good he is. And to do that on the standard bikes, what he was doing, how he turned it, I was like, it's mad.
He's smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, but just
do you know
how
the funny
well
thing?
He looked on
the funny
bike.
thing I found, obviously, Sam Sunderland's come from the Dakar world, and the two areas, the track was like fast on one side, technical on the other, and Johnny was good all around everywhere. But then the bit where it went fast, Sam not scared to just just hold her on. You go, fuck.
Yeah, and then Johnny around the tight corners that were a little bit off camber, the roll speed he carried round them turns. Like, I watched him, and then I made notes in my phone of things that I can practice when I go out next.
Oh, really?
To ride. Yeah, because he's learning all the time. And for me, I'm a lot like on the power, quite hard on the brakes, aggressive on the power, and then to try and go faster.
What, you're wanting to take that into your motocross now?
Yeah.
Bit more roll.
Well, yeah, I write things, a lot of notes in my phone, like when I see things, and be like, so then I can make, when I go to the track, I'll look and be like, something I can work on today, because you can get caught in the moment quite easily. And when you want to go faster, you try and go faster by being more aggressive, and then that takes it out of you more, where sometimes you don't need to go faster by just getting on the power harder or braking later. You can go faster in a different way, and what he shows is by letting off the brakes earlier and rolling through the corner more and getting on the power later. It just carries more roll speed. When we both done stuff, and I'm a lot more harder on the power, harder on the brakes, he's lighter and rolls more and sort of drifts it a little bit and carries his momentum, and especially around those tracks. It was good to see, like, especially we're on the same bike.
When it's a bit, obviously motocross is the track's the track. It's all tracking it. There's bits there where it's like onto the grass, back onto the dirt. Is there a rut? Isn't there? It's, you could probably see why he's rolling a touch more. Yeah,
because there wasn't anything to get your wheels in as such, and he had so much confidence on the flat ground. Granted, he'd done a few more laps around that track. It was his third day there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was there setting it up on Friday, rode on Saturday, rode with us Sunday, and he's there Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. 6 days he's got there.
So I think they had an advantage on the track, because we got one sight lap and then I went in. And that's another thing. I wouldn't like to do that. That sort of put me off.
So tell you who did like to do
that? Paul Eddy.
Well, Paul Eddy as well, but Ivan.
But he's world enduro champ. He loved it.
He went, what, the lap time's been out? Yeah, get me a time on this track.
He did. And then Paul Eddy borrowed gear, no knee braces, had his jeans on under his gear for a bit of padding on the bike, a helmet that was 3 sizes too big, so the helmet bag he put in the top of the helmet to pad it out a little bit, and also done the challenges. So that was quite impressive.
Yeah, he can still go. I think he wasn't a million miles off of you on lap times, was he?
No, not far at all. And watching his lap, I was worried that
he's going to beat you.
Beat him at all, yeah. But no, it was good. But nice to see the difference in styles, and what you can do on that standard bike. Even like a ride like myself, I think, like the tracks that we rode and raced on and done the challenges on.
They do a load of kit as well for it. You can buy like a acro pipe and a few upgrades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And is the acro pipe made for enduro as well?
Yeah, it's made for it.
It's not the Motocross acro.
No, and the 2 pipes that come on the 250 and 450 enduro model aren't the same pipes that come on the motocross bikes.
No, also, Amy bought out some clutch covers, and it's not even the same clutch covers that fit on the enduro bike as the motocross bike. No. So there really is...
It's different, yeah.
Big differences.
Yeah.
And the effort that went into this, what they done for this press launch was mad, because every night they changed. Obviously, they washed the bikes completely. They put new tyres on, front and back. I think they put new mousses in. Maybe not mousses. That might
don't
be
know about mousses. I don't. The standard bike doesn't come with mousses.
No,
but they put mousses in for this trip.
Yeah, you don't want to get punctured, do you? No. In the woods.
But then they did plastics, brake discs or pads, one of the two. Because my front brake didn't work, but this burst off. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, to warm up.
Yeah, and then I said, "Has this had new pads in?" They're like, "Yeah, all of them every night." I was like, pfft.
Yeah, what they did overnight for each group the next day: bikes, new plastics, new tyres front and back, new brake pads front and back, new clutches.
I wonder if they're going to do any like ride days in the UK where
no,
they're not.
No, I spoke to that. So you can't.
No test days for like general public.
The shops are going to have a demo bike each.
Right.
This is what I believe. I may have this wrong, but I overheard a conversation. Rather than doing like Triumph done official through Triumph Direct in the UK motocross days, it was quite easy for them to get tracks to rent. Like they go Moto 101 VIP and they do like 10 bikes, come and have a ride.
Yeah.
But they said it's quite difficult to get an enduro place to go like around the country. Like you've obviously got, say, Tong or
Mick Extenses and that.
So they're going to give, I think, a demo bike to each dealer. So you go to your dealer, and you can talk to them about having a ride on a bike. I believe.
I bet. Again, this is all could be made up and may not happen, but I haven't spoke to anyone that could confirm it. People like the Mick Extenses that have these days. I wouldn't be surprised if they was to buy a fleet of them, especially with like the current circumstances of KTM and Husky.
Well, they're good bikes, so why wouldn't you? Someone's buying
I mean,
the
and
other
then
ones.
You buy one and then go, okay, we're going to have 5 450s, 5 250s, and then hire them out as a thing. That's what they've been doing with KTMs and Huskies, haven't they, at different times?
They normally do that with 2-strokes, though, didn't they, I think?
No, Mick Extenses was 4-strokes, I'm
really?
pretty sure, yeah. At one point he was Cowie. But like Dave Thorpe has that Honda experience, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah, I expect someone will do.
Maybe Tommy Searle's signature tours. Tommy's tours.
Well, I won't be taking them up anything too hard because I couldn't be able to get it up in myself. So it'd be catered for the...
Quite a nice day out.
Yeah,
then.
quite a nice day out.
Plenty of cake stops and coffee stops.
But what else did we do on a day? We started off by following the group. Like, you get your set group. So in the morning, we was on 450s. In the afternoon, we was on 250s. We sort of went off plan in the afternoon because I wanted to do a bit for the YouTube and some challenges.
Yeah, you really scuppered the plans.
Yeah.
You went,
I was that happy.
No, you went, all them plans, I'm not doing it.
No. As much as I like going through the woods, and we're sort of following a leader. He has like a tour guide. So there was 5 of us or 6 of us in a group. Johnny and Sam Sunderland joined in the group. You do a few like pictures you go through so you can get your content that you want to put out. Triumph have their official photographers and videographers there. And then they said, right, pictures are done. We're going to go on like an hour loop now, which was the green route. And the place we went was absolutely amazing, through the woods, through so many different terrains. You had rocks, you had rocky hills, you had woods, you had grippy sections. And we were sort of cruising along. And then that was the morning. So we done like the pictures, and then we done a 45-minute hour loop. But as much as I enjoy that, the afternoon I said to them, like, I don't want to do another loop. Like,
well, for content-wise, it's too much of the same.
No,
thing.
but in general, I either I'm with my mates and we're doing funny things on Enduro, but just plodding around, it's not really for me. I was talking to the guys out there. I more like to do the same thing over and over and over again than one thing, unless it's something really, really amazing. Then just go around the same, then do everything once.
I overheard this conversation. You said to the bloke, I would rather do an hour around a 1-minute lap time track than an hour riding around that woods again.
Yeah.
And he went, what?
Yeah, he looked at me in like
just disbelief. He went,
just sort of just went, bit odd. And I said no, because I like...
You like to try and improve, I guess.
Yeah, I like to hit a rut and I'm like, oh, I can get that better. I can brake a little bit later. I can feather the front braking. Oh, that was nice. Got it better that lap. Let's see if I can... Or I made a mistake that lap. Let me carve out a little bit earlier and I'll make a new line. Whereas there, you do everything once. And if you don't get it right, it's like, you sort of just... And then, I guess with being a racer, you're
trying to hit your mark, aren't you? Bang, bang, bang.
That's where I get my enjoyment, by getting things better, getting a rut nice, getting a berm nice, landing in the perfect position every lap and being consistent. Where these boys in Enduro world, you never get that chance. Like Midwest is like, I can just ride for a day. Like, I don't ever finesse anything, so I'm never going to, that's what they like, and everyone's so different. And it was just quite funny being with a group of people that have such different
everyone's
interests.
into bikes, but all totally into them in their own way.
Yeah.
It was good fun, good crack. Hopefully we get invited back. Hopefully we've done a good job when we come back.
I feel like we need to go into more specs of the bike. Do you know anything more about it or not?
I would probably be doing it a disservice to tell you the full specs, but all I know is all them bits that come with it, and the cranks and stuff were different.
I mean, not being funny, if you're listening to this and you want to find out more about the bike, I got up a minute ago on the Triumph website and it's got every stat of the bike.
Well, I think you can pre-order them now already, so it must have all the stats of what's what.
So you can find the stats of the bike in multiple places online. I think you put in Triumph. What was the actual model called?
TF250E, TF450E.
Yeah, so you can find them stats online. Well, we got any questions?
I put on the question thing about the bikes. Does it whistle like the MX bike? Was one of them?
It will do.
I didn't feel.
No,
like
I
it
didn't hear a whistle.
No,
which is odd. It didn't, but the
I don't know.
motocross bikes are also somewhat. I can ride my bike for a bit, and even John said, and one bike will whistle a little bit more than the other bike. There's something in it.
I wonder if it's the exhaust.
If it moves, it can whistle. It's not the exhaust that whistles. No, it's actually something in Triumph engines that they do, because all models of their engines have this little whistle. It's quite a known thing in Triumph. Yeah, so it's and one bike can whistle a little bit more than another bike, and it's not an issue. Or like John, even because he was quite new to Triumphs this year, as we all were, it's a new bike, he sort of asked them, like, this one whistles a little bit more than this one, and they're like, it's absolutely fine. It's literally the tolerance in something can be a little bit more. I may get this wrong, but it varies.
I didn't notice it whistling like an MX bike though.
No,
but again, I don't know if the whistles when you're really, really on it.
No,
and we weren't.
it's not.
Is it not?
It just whistles, and some whistles more. I can have one bike that whistles more than another.
Oh, I didn't notice the whistle personally.
But I like the whistle.
You know where they are on the track.
No, I do. I really like it. I love the sound of the Triumph.
It sounds a little bit yammy, like because the yammy you can hear the air getting sucked in because of where the airbox is.
No, different. I prefer the whistle. The yams almost puts off. Like it's like it's sucks in and quite like a aggressive. Where this is like a little whirl.
What have they done with the gearing, and how much are they going to cost?
That's another thing. It's 6-speed.
Oh, you know that, do you?
Yeah. Paul said that. I done a little bit in my vlog. Spoke with Ed, and it was quite a good contrast, really, because Paul talked about how he developed it and some more. I don't know. He went different info to what you gave me, so it was quite a yeah. In the vlog, you'll see us riding it. You'll see us doing challenges, but you'll also get information from Paul, Eddie, who developed the bike.
I was told the price, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, $9,000, I think. Something.
I think it was 9,700. I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't go into your Triumph.
It's a little bit cheaper than a KTM, and then
with more bits.
Yeah, well, just they want to be competitive, don't they? So they're coming in at the right price to I guess compete with KTM and take some of their market.
Could it handle a touch of extreme? I'm currently on a KTM 300, but fancy a change. I'd say it could.
Johnny was doing pretty extreme stuff on it, yeah. I mean...
Well, in fact, the good test will be if Johnny rides Erzberg next week. In 5 weeks or whenever it is.
I don't know, has that been released? He said he was just waiting for that bike to do a bit of practice.
Well, Erzberg isn't in the new Hard Enduro World Championship calendar.
Oh, is it not?
No. But
that's come out now?
Yeah.
Huh.
But there's talks that they're all still doing it because of KTM, Red Bull. So I think they're all still going.
Yeah, all the riders.
All the riders are still going.
I think it's quite a good race for them, isn't it?
Yeah. I would imagine that Red Bull will still film that one and do it. So
it's about the only one I watch. So
it'd be a big race. So I'd imagine.
I'd like to see Billy have a go. I'd like to see him all have a go.
Well, I haven't asked Billy if he's doing it or not, but I would imagine he is.
I hope so. It's his job, isn't it?
He's like you. He'd be doing a few little extra races for some extra cheddar cheese. How do they compare to the Austrian bikes? I think we pretty much covered that.
Yeah.
Triumph being a premium brand, does it come with all the bells and whistles as standard? Covered that one, yeah. Billy's thoughts. He's not rode one, can't tell you. No excuses now for Enduro Tommy. That's true.
That is true. And I reckon I'll do a bit more now I've got a bike.
Have you got one?
No, not yet, but I'd like to think I can get my hands on one at some point. But I can imagine once they get them in, they will sell out quite fast.
Well, the 250 motocross bike sold out. You can't have one of them until June.
It's 450s available, but the 250s motocross bike, gone.
June, I think, or July. June, I think. We're shit at this bit. We give them the details, but don't give them the facts.
It is. I believe June or July. You were right.
Oh yeah, exactly. So which is it, June or July?
Well,
one of the two. The next question is this geezer. I like turtles. He said.
Just turtles. Yeah. There's no turtles, but although there was a gap that went across a water hole, if you was to call it, and there was a little bit of a bridge across the first bit, and then there was 2 wooden beams, and you had to go across the next bit. Ed didn't do it.
I wasn't allowed to do that.
Oh, they made it quite clear without saying it.
So the track that you were riding on, it was the demo track for Johnny and
we shouldn't have been on it.
We shouldn't have been on it. I definitely shouldn't have been on it. And then in that track, there was like quite a wide bridge with 2 metre holes of water either side, and then a very narrow bit at the end with also 2 metre water holes either side of it. Johnny was going over it, trying to egg you onto it, trying to egg me on to do it, saying if we had a race, he would give me a 30-second advantage for doing that. But Amy and the other people from Triumph were looking at me like, "Don't you dare sink a press
It was literally a 2 metre hole with a sheer wall, apparently either side. Obviously, you couldn't see it because the water was there. But I think there is videos of a race. And what was
Les Combs, the place is called.
Les Combs.
Yeah.
Of people coming off of this little water plank, the little wood plank into the thing, and the bike's just been in the hole, and also people splatting up against the wall, because it wasn't like a wall like that, it was sheer wall.
Someone's just got a digger bucket and gone.
Yeah. And then I didn't do it because I was a bit nervous. I really struggle when I'm stopped and people says, "Do you want to do that?" I'm like, "No." But when I actually do a few laps, then I get my confidence up, and then I went for it, and these lot were sort of egging me on. And then the time I'd done it, I made such a big deal about it that I was skinning a bike sideways, revving it and that, and then they all thought.
No, we didn't all think that was you being serious. What we thought was the track was quite narrow to get onto, but as you was cocking about going rah, 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 the back wheel slid sideways, and then you had to correct yourself to get onto this beam. You couldn't have made it any harder to do. And
but that sort of revs me up, and I'm like, "Whoa, I'm ready for it." So yeah, there was no turtles, but there was a wooden beam where there could have been turtles underneath. There wasn't.
I'd have been a turtle if I'd have been in there and
on your back.
I think if I'd have sank that bike, I think I'd have just held onto it and gone down with it, because I'd
just not come back up.
I'd have been in trouble. Yeah, he's rode the track he's not supposed to ride and sank a press bike, and now the Spanish and the Germans tomorrow haven't got another bike. I'd have gone, yeah.
No, it would have been a bit of a disaster. A bit similar to what I'd done at Fat Cats the other week. But no, we went off track. We done bits we shouldn't have done, really. We shouldn't have been on that track.
The whole afternoon was, in their eyes, illegal. We shouldn't have done any of it.
No, but it will make for a good vlog. So look out for that. And also, this is going to go out when? Thursday?
Well, Thursday is when everyone's allowed to talk about it, because we've not been allowed to talk about it under embargo.
It's only Tuesday now. So I have another vlog coming out. I'm going to do a little plug for.
I was just going to get onto that.
Was you?
Yeah, because I was going to commend you. I watched it last night, and I'm proud. Proud man.
I come up with a concept. I had Blobfish come out and film it, and it's a really good video. I'm really happy with it. It's a little bit different to my normal videos, but it's something that you can all sort of be quite interesting to watch. The differences.
Can we give them the title of the vlog?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know a title yet. I've got to think of a title.
Well, we can ask them
for the title of the vlog.
The title comment, but I think it should be: does a race bike make you a better motocross rider?
See, I think we can have a better title than that. I think you got to put money in the title.
No, well, yeah, that as well. But I'm thinking what people would Google.
Yeah. So the concept of the vlog, and you can then put in the comments what we should call it, is I've got a completely standard 250F straight out the showroom, straight from the shop. We didn't touch anything on it. We didn't touch the levers. We didn't touch the bars, the sag, the forks, the clickers, nothing.
Oh, you didn't even set it up? Just literally...
Well, my setup's quite neutral anyway.
No, I mean, but sag or anything?
We didn't touch the sag. We didn't touch anything.
Just run it as you run it.
Don't get me wrong, had the sag been way too high or way too low, we would have corrected it. But it was straight out of the showroom. It felt pretty good. I got 999 Laser, who's a good
Max.
Steady rider, Max, that's relatable to a lot of people. He was I don't know, I think 8 seconds a lap slower than me around the track. So quite relatable. And we had my race bike there, which obviously has had a load of development. So basically a stock bike, my race bike, which everything on my race bike you can buy. And there's not one part on there that's not available to you. My suspension's obviously done by K-Tech. But anyway, we done a challenge, race bike, the stock bike, the difference it makes you, and the difference it would make to you. So whether you're faster, whether you're slower, it's quite interesting.
All down on a lap time, wasn't it?
Yeah, we both had a ride on plenty of time on each bike till we felt comfortable. And then we done lap times. So I wanted to see whether it made a rider like Max faster and whether it made a rider like me faster, or whether we'd waste our time. So
did you go for it on the stock bike?
Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm more used to my race bike than I am the stock bike.
Yeah,
I ride that
longer,
every time. And so I'm much more comfortable on my race bike purely because I've spent more time on it.
So the real result is really in whatever Max does.
Yeah. I think it was more important than the concept of it, Max's time, which is why it was so important to get.
Yes, I guess it answers the question, is it worth spending some money on a stock bike to make you better?
Yeah, because every pro is going to have a bike that's had some money spent on it.
Yeah, true.
And for me, it would benefit me more because I've set the suspension up. I've done this. It's all tailored to me. Where for Max, he jumped on my bike.
Similar weight or not?
He would be a little bit heavier than I am, but then at the same time, he's a little bit slower than I am. So I would imagine the suspension settings, if he went to K-Tech and asked, they would put in a similar setup because I hit things harder. He's a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So they're going to even themselves out. So our setting would be somewhat similar.
So if he was to push on a bit, he would probably want it stiffer.
Well, yeah, if he was his weight
Your
going
speed.
within a second of me, he'd probably go a heavier set of springs.
Yeah.
But no, we put it all together well. I paid Blobfish to come out. He spent a lot of time, so thanks to Blobfish to coming out and filming that. He spent a lot of time editing it. But it was sort of a concept I want to do more of this in the future going forward. More interesting things.
It's more of a cool video than a vlog, isn't it? It's not really a vlog. It's like
not a vlog as such. But it still has that relatable feel to it, my videos.
Yeah.
And like a bit of, I don't know, banter as such within the video, but it's something that you can watch throughout the whole thing. I mean, they sent it to me last night and I showed Soph and she watched it for 20 minutes and watched it, and she hadn't watched one of my videos in probably 18 months.
I also watched it, no skips.
Yeah, and she was like, that was brilliant. Like, I could sit and watch that and I don't give a fuck about motorbikes. But she was quite interested in, like, it got to a point where she was like, oh, yeah, I wonder how much faster he is then. Not that she sounds like that, but it
do a real accent.
I can't do it. But no, it was quite good. So look out for that. That's going to come out Monday. And yeah, give me some other ideas that I can use in future videos like that. More of a concept, more of something that you can find out, whether it be a competition or something that you can relate one thing to another and that you would like to find out. So it's more of that concept of video rather than a vlog of just me at a track going through my daily life, which I'll still keep those up as well because they go hand in hand as such. But no, look out for that. Even Ed was quite emotional, I think.
I was proud. I'm guessing after this you're going to say, can you make me a thumbnail?
Yeah, that will be your job, the thumbnail.
That's this afternoon, is it?
Yeah. But no, I was quite thinking, come up with the concept myself, put a bit of thought into it, and it come out really well. My mechanic, John, come up, or race team manager, John. He done a good job with it all as well, as did Max, and as did Blob. So the whole thing works really well, and I'd like to do a bit more in that direction.
I watched when I watched it, the track looked tricky.
Yeah, it was. It was drying out throughout the day.
Yeah, a bit dry, a bit wet, but that was also probably...
No, it's good for the bikes.
Yeah, probably better, because you got a bit of everything.
If they had ripped, because we done it at VIPMX, which is sometimes they can rip it all up and it'd be quite easy.
Yeah, well, if they were prepping it for like the opening of another practice day.
But I said to them, leave it rough. And it had rained, and we waited till later in the day to do the time lapse. And we done the time lapse. We didn't do like the one bike in the morning and the next in the afternoon. The laps were done within 10 minutes.
Or within the same time.
Because I wanted it to be a fair...
Yeah, as fair as you can
test.
make it.
If we'd have gone like, let's do 30 minutes on the practice bike, for a warm-up and then do a lap time on that, and then let's do another 30 minutes on a race bike, and then the track would have dried considerably considering how the conditions were. But it was slippery, it was rough, there was grip in some areas. It was good. It was good test. You couldn't really ask for the track to be any more technical as far as VIP goes. Very technical.
I liked it. Good. Hopefully that will go down well for you. Might be the start of your real YouTube career.
Yeah, I'm more YouTube in that. Like, it's a very YouTube video rather than a vlog. It's proper, and I quite enjoyed it, to be fair. A bit more like, yeah, I did enjoy it. It's good.
Got any other plans for the near future racing?
No.
Little Bill's coming back. You're going to have a little fight with Little Bill at the next British?
Well, I did say I've got to do a bit of riding, and you said you don't think I've got him anymore in the bus ride back to the airport. I said I've got to win at Canada Heights, and you said I think that Billy has got you covered now. So I've got a point to prove to you now.
You give me more confidence in the mentality of you'll play it right in your head. He could crumble, or still young. He's not been in as many as battles and the situations that you've been in. So I think he might race ahead at some of them and then not choke, but he's got a, like at Hawkston, you were catching him and then you stalled it.
Yeah, I choked there.
But you've got it in you to just wait, I reckon, and just play your cards right, and again just knock a bit and a bit and a bit, and then get inside his head. So hopefully, now
I'm quite confident in I can be consistent. But Canada Heights uphill start, I just need to a start. I mean, it comes down to a lot of start. But Bill has impressed me with his consistency over the past 3 weeks and how he's been up front in those European races and made no mistakes. Been up front at the British Championship, made no mistakes. So
he had another good showing, didn't he, in Switzerland?
Yeah. He was a bit under the weather, but he still put in another top 5, which is hard to do in that class. So I mean, it is going.
I think he'll take more risks than you.
He's on. This is me.
He's going to take more risk at Canada Heights than you will.
Yeah, but he's not very. He's very smooth, and last year then he would have like a crash, and you'd be like, what happened? And he'd be like, I just had a crash out of nowhere. Where now they're getting a lot less. So I wouldn't actually be behind him in a race and be like, let's just sit here. He's going to make a mistake. No, I still have to make.
You're going to have to pass him.
And there'll be times where I think he would. If we go practicing now anywhere other than Ashby, he has a bit more. If it's a flat track and fast track and you can take a bit of risk and send it into the corners, he's normally a fair bit faster. If we go to a real technical track, he's not. But it is the momentum is coming his side. I need experience to make it happen on race day now. But I'm still very confident that I can make it happen on race day. That's in like 3 weeks now, Canada Heights. Always one of the best races of the year, isn't it?
Has he got some more some more Europeans before then?
Yeah, loads. You don't stop racing. He's got Portugal, Spain. Portugal and another one in Spain again.
So 2 more than the British?
Yeah. So
2 more weekend off British has he got?
No, 2 more straight into British at Canada Heights.
Oh, wow.
Which is another thing. It's playing into his favour a little bit that he's
racing.
Active. I'm out the ring, as they might say, a fair bit lately. And now there's not many races for us in England this year as such as high-level races. It's more like a lot of the British Championship riders are going off and doing like Eastern Centres, local meetings to keep their race time up. We just haven't got many. Normally we have that second series that keeps us a bit more active, but we haven't got that this year. The races are a bit few and far between, but Canada Heights is a good one if you want to come and watch that. I was going to say one other thing. I can't think what it was now. There'll be a vlog out as well, probably in about 10 days' time.
What would you going to do? Shout someone out? Ask someone for a sponsorship? Tell someone about how your great stick on anything?
No, I wasn't actually.
Was you not? It's rare. Very rare for you.
Yeah, no, I think we'll just keep it. Oh, no, we could say we had a few people after Hutt Cup, when me and Billy went and raced, a couple of people in the comments was like, can't believe they got paid to go and race a charity race where we actually explained the race a little bit wrong. It was not a charity race. It was a race event that at the end of the race, they done an auction for charity to raise money for the charity, which me and Billy both gave our jerseys to help that cause. So we didn't take money from a charity to go and race this event. We went to the event, as we do. It's our living to race bikes. And then we both donated a jersey towards the charity. So we're not complete arseholes, as a couple of you thought. So we'll just clear that up before the end of this thing. So we did our bit, and we're not complete.
You're not an arsehole.
Just leave it there. Yeah.
I still think you are.
No, I know. You can have that opinion. We are
not for the charity race. Just in general, you're just generally a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah. Well, I think we can leave it there on this podcast. Yeah, it was quite good actually without fucking that man there.
It's better, isn't it? He's butting in, not talking over everyone, and then yarping and sat like this down here and sticking the mic out in his nose.
Doing endos and that.
Yeah, this is Bill. It just goes like that.
So if you want more of these two manners and to get another man there, I've got an idea that I'd like to get in here. Chris from K-Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, you just need a Red Bull hat on and so like not have a shower for a week and you just suit the bill.
Yeah.
Chris from K-Tech.
Yeah, I'd like Chris from K-Tech to come in and
I know who would be good as well.
Who?
Max.
From 999 Laser?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him in.
Would be quite good. Here is after the vlogs come out.
He was really good in that vlog.
That's what I mean. It'd be good for him to, obviously he's explained what he's explained in the video, but it's only 20 minutes. It'd be good to actually...
I think now we've done this, quite good just chatting to you without Bill. So I think we can get my input with someone like Chris. He's local. He likes watching the vlogs, does a lot for the sport in general. He's been involved from a very, from a rider to a mechanic to a business to doing suspension to now having a big company, a successful company.
Like I've always said, everything's here. You've just got to use it.
Yeah. So doing this two-manner has given me a bit more confidence in that. So if you would like to see anyone else in this dynamic, myself, Edward, and a third guest, please leave it in the comments, because I think now it's all here, it is a lot easier for us to pop in, do an episode, and it was quite enjoyable. I've just
had a text message actually from Ben Cannon from Madison saying, how was it, mate? Was your kit any good?
Oh, do a shout out. Give that shout out.
I'll do my shout out. I had some One Industries kit given to me for the Triumph launch. Very nice. Very good, very nice.
Someone had to do a shout out in this episode.
Well, I want some more in every colour, please, Ben. Thank you.
It did look good. Your form in your pictures and that, very good. I was impressed.
I was happy. I enjoyed it.
It's into biking now.
I'm back in.
Friday, back to Motor 101.
This is the layout I've got for, right? Enduro, put me on a motorbike. Not bothered what one, clutch, gears, all day long. Motocross, I'm an e-biker.
Yeah, he rates the start.
I rate the start, just for ease for me, because, don't have to change gear. It's nice. What I find, right, this is
you just upset everyone at the end of our podcast. You were into it. You're back to motorbike edge. You're on the combustion engine.
I'm a combustion lover still, but this is the bit I find. You know how you just said a minute ago that you like to do a lap round one track to finesse it to get it better. I find when I'm on the start, that's the feeling I can do on a motocross track, because I've got less to think about, and I can go, I'll get this bit a bit better this time, or I'll get in that rut better. I'll brake here.
What you feel all that, and you can feel yourself finessing the corners.
I can feel myself thinking that way, maybe not finessing it and doing it. Because I've got less to do, I've got more time to think about things like that, I feel.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And watching you can see that.
So, yeah, e-bike Ed and Enduro Ed.
Combustion Ed. That's it then. Thanks, guys.
You get on the phone to Backyard Designs for the next question segment.
Oh, we had to shout them out.
Yeah, I know. I was doing it for you. You said, okay. You texted me before saying, make sure you get it in.
I did not say that. But they are great stickers. See you in a bit.